A result that industry will have because of the Partners program is force. We'll have students interested in science, technology, engineering, and therefore we'll have a constant pipeline of good resources. Another result, even if these students don't go into the science fields, they will become a better informed public, a public of concerned voters, consumers, and decision makers.
Partners for Terrific Science is an initiative that involves faculty from Miami University, faculty from other universities throughout Ohio, and industry representation. The program was initially established in 1988 with 15 industries and 72 teachers joining forces. Over the last several years to include well over 100 industries, representation from professional societies throughout the area, and many more teachers. Partners for Terrific Science has several underlying goals, first of which is to increase teachers' understanding of the role science plays in industry, and to show industrial scientists how teachers can use this material to reach their students. Another goal is to model for teachers appropriate pedagogy that they in turn can use to reach underrepresented groups, such as females and minorities, allowing all students access to science.
Partners for Terrific Science offers several program options for teachers, students, and industrial partners. Academic year and summer industrial applications workshops, industrial internships, student programs, and an affiliate program. In the Industrial Applications Workshop, teachers of grades 4 through 12 learn the science and technology applications of 6 area industries, social, and economic issues that surround research and production activities. This knowledge is translated into more relevant science education based hands-on activities and through teacher innovative term projects.
I really like this quote from Jean Piaget, so I thought I'd share it with you all this morning. The principal goal of education is to create men and women who are capable of doing new things, not simply repeating what other generations have done. People who are discoverers. We need pupils who are active, partially by their own spontaneous activity and partially by the materials that we have set up for them.
Being involved in the Partners Project has probably been the most exciting thing that's happened to me as a teacher. I've had the opportunity to learn information that I otherwise didn't know or have an opportunity to experience. And certainly that has passed on to my students, where they now are much more excited about science because I'm excited about science. Because of my involvement with Partners, I can see where science and technology fits into the real world. And because I understand that, I can pass that along to my students. They now can see that the making of soap or the food that they eat required science. About dyes and pigments and about food chemistry. We have learned about steel making and DNA and polymers. And the activities that have been presented are suitable for elementary age students as well. And even someone that is not trained in science and chemistry can start to get a feel for that and understanding so that they can pass it on to their students.
Through industrial internships, graduates of an industrial applications workshop spend 6 to 10 weeks working on-site as members of an industrial research team. A concurrent classroom applications course translates industrial experience into inquiry-based instructional units.
It's critical that grade school, middle school, and high school teachers understand their pivotal role in causing students to pursue science careers. The Partners program is one way to do this, and in this program we bring science high school teachers into companies like Procter & Gamble. They do a project, and at the same time they learn how we apply science in modern industry.
And what I feel that I got out of the summer internship was a way to go back to my classroom and model those research procedures and practices that I learned while at Procter & Gamble, so that my students could know what research was in the real world. and actually have them to work on their experiments in the same fashion.
Terrific Science camps for middle school students are held in the final week of the Summer Industrial Applications Workshop. The high school mentoring program begins with site visits and guest classroom presentations and leads to industrial mentorship of students' research projects, career counseling, of personalized partnerships. Terrific Science carnivals, conducted by high school students, introduce elementary students to science and extend the partnership into the community.
If we don't excite students when they're in elementary school or middle school about science, it's not likely that they'll take any of these courses when they're in high school. On the other hand, if science is fun for kids and they see it as a positive force, as something that creates products that they use every day, they'll want to and they'll be interested in taking science courses. We might be looking at this a little selfishly, but industry depends on a well-qualified workforce, and we need to be committed to quality science education.
Ask a teacher, where does this fit in? When are we going to use this in the real world? With Partners for Terrific Science, students get to see that the chemistry that they're doing is industry-based. It's real-world based. They get to see that the problems that they're having to solve are real-world based. They also get to see that the people doing the chemistry industry are real people. They're not stereotypical people that you see in movies and cartoons, etc., but they're real family people.
Affiliate teams, including an industrial scientist or engineer, a university science or science education faculty member, and a master teacher, participate in an industrial applications workshop to learn the operational details of the project in order to implement industrial academic partnership programming in their region.
Presently, a need exists to expand this effort throughout the state, the region, and the nation. We constantly get requests from U.S. and Canadian industries indicating their interest in replicating this program in their areas.
The Cincinnati section of American Chemical Society has endorsed and contributed to this project, but it is important for other scientific societies and other communities to become involved in the project. They have much to gain by educating their future scientific society members.
The bottom line in this effort is to make science more relevant to students, to allow students to understand the critical role that science plays in their life, and thereby allow them to be scientifically literate citizens.
I can track my path to a PhD in chemistry all the way back to my 4th grade science teacher. She recognized in me that I had a science interest, and she plied me with all kinds of papers and articles and so on to keep that spark alive. About 2 months ago, I learned that this teacher was still with us, and I invited her to lunch, and I took her to lunch and told her how important that had been for me, that she was responsible for me being a scientist. I'm certain that made her day, and I can only hope for all teachers in grade school, middle school, and high school that at some time in the future they can look back and say they influenced some student to pursue a science career.